Do you have a compelling vision for your life? Because if not, you're going to become a slave to other people's preferences and priorities. It sounds quite harsh, but it's true. You don't have a plan for your life, someone else will. I had many dreams. I would often write them down. I would get excited about them. I'd even tell some people about the dreams that I had. Other times, I would just be too shy. I'd be too insecure to share it and I wanted to keep it inside. The problem was that I never had a clear plan or a compelling vision that I actually wrote down to achieve what I was dreaming about. And as a result, I became a slave to other people's preferences and priorities because there was no structure, there was no day to day plan to follow to achieve the vision. I would allow other people's priorities and preferences to take over my life. Not only their preferences and priorities, but even just distractions. Other people's priorities on YouTube or Netflix. Sometimes getting distracted by the next new shiny thing is just exciting, but again, at the cost of the vision or the dreams that I had in my life. When you find yourself in this space, it's so easy to be frustrated, lost, and confused. You end up making bad decisions because anything seems like a good decision. There's no decision-making framework that you have in order to know what to say yes to and what you're going to say no to. You end up living by pressure rather than principles that you've set. You end up walking away from the dreams that you have in your life. But it doesn't have to be this way. Instead, you can actually have a clear direction for your life with a clear path that lets you live the life you want. My wife often used this analogy in the early days with me, and I want to give it to you. Play the movie of your life. Right now, where you are at, watching this video, play the movie of your life. If things would continue on their current trajectory, where would you end up? If you had to look back at your life and watch the movie of your life, say now you're 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, whatever that is, and you look back, did you enjoy the movie? Did you enjoy the story that you were telling? If not, you actually have the opportunity right now to change that. If the life that you're leading isn't exciting you, there's nothing that is stirring your passions or your heart. There's nothing that makes you go, "Wow, I love what's happening in my life." You actually have the opportunity right now to change it. You are writing the script of your life every single day. Write what you want to write. Yes, it's true. You can't control everything. You can't control every outcome or everything that happens to you, but you can control your responses to it and you can design the life that you want. And there's an important difference between two sides that I've been talking about right now. One is I've been talking about dreams, and the other side I've been talking about vision. And there is a huge difference between dreams and visions. Dreaming is free. It's exciting. You get the feeling of excitement. You get the feeling of something happening. And you can take it out every now and then when you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling low. You take it out, you look at that dream, you go, wow, what an amazing dream. That'll be so amazing to have happen one day in my life. And then what you do is you put it back away and you get on with real life. You put your dreams away on the shelf. A vision, on the other hand, is incredibly costly. It will cost you something. You get excited about the future. It's compelling. It causes you to want to act. You need to take action on it. It should be too big for you so that you actually get scared and fearful of it. That's how you know the vision is the right vision, or at least it's big enough vision for your life. The price of your vision is the willingness to act on it today, no matter how big or how small. In fact, take small steps, it's better. It requires a plan, like a personal GPS for your life. If you know where you're going and you know where you are, you can plot a plan to get there. A vision causes you to rearrange your life, to reorient your life, to make some big decisions about what you can do and what you can't do. You make slow progress, you deal with disappointment, you manage frustration. And that is the price of vision, because vision always draws you beyond where you currently are. And that is where you need to grow. And so all of these feelings are part of that growth. But all the while, you are becoming the person who can fulfill that vision. You are growing on the inside. Your life is changing and is making a difference, and you feel that. Dreams may or may not come true. It's like having a bucket list. There's very little on the line. A vision, however, moves you towards a direction, moves you towards action. You need a compelling vision for your life. Every day has meaning. Every day has significance. Every day has purpose when you've got a plan for where you're going. And so a vision helps us with decision making, but it also helps us with direction. Your life is like a ladder that leans against the wall. And we want to climb to the top of the ladder, whatever that success looks like. Success is reaching the top of the ladder. You get on top of the wall. But the problem is, so many of us, we climb that ladder of success only to realize that our ladder is actually leaning against the wrong wall. Having a vision for your life is making sure that the wall you lean your ladder on is the right one so that you can work hard at growing along and going along and climbing that wall. A vision gives us structure for our lives and brings constraints that we need to stay focused. Vision gets us out of bed at a certain time, helps us to develop new skills and grow personally. Without vision, any decision looks like a good decision, without thought of the true cost. Vision gives us extreme clarity about what's needed next. Look, I get it. If you want to live an average life, there's nothing wrong with that. Then don't have a vision for your life. Then the life you get is the life you get. If you prefer to play it safe, there's no worries there. But if you want more, if you want to actually live the life that you believe that you're capable of, or fulfill the potential that you have in your life, you're going to need a clear and compelling vision that's going to drive you forward and help you with day-to-day steps in order to get there. You can live an extraordinary life. You just got to design it. So let me give you 4 ways how you can design your personal vision. Number 1 is think big. Vision should scare you. It should be far too big for you. It should cause you to get a little bit nervous on the inside. Why? Because that's what's going to be there to create the action that you need to take. If your vision was what you already have, that's cool, but it's not going to require any growth. It's not going to require you to live an extraordinary life. Vision is the thing that's always big in front of you, that's compelling you to take action. So think big. 10x it. Whatever you're thinking, think bigger than what you can right now. Vision is all about having a preferred future. What is your preferred future? What would you like to be true about you in the future? What would you like to be true about your circumstances? What would you like to be true about your family? What would you like to be true about your experiences? Can you paint it with real clarity? Just thinking big. And so what I would encourage you to do is to brainstorm it on a page, just or open up a Google Doc, write it on in a journal, and just brainstorm. Throw things out there that you would love to be true about your future, love to be true about who you are and what you've done. Go ahead and write it all down. And then eliminate the things that you don't think you actually want. If there's anything on there that you don't want, just scratch it off the list. Maybe you don't know what you want yet, and you have to start with what you don't want. Doesn't matter how you get there. What you want at the end of the day is a bullet list of things that you would love to be true about your future. And then ask yourself the question when it's done, does that excite you? Does that scare you a little bit? Is that something you really dream and wish could be true? If not, then start again. Carry on going until you have an excitement about where you're going. And I also say, hey, have a long-term vision. I know that the world changes really, really quickly, and I know that things are always moving and shifting, but for your life, look at having 10 years ahead. That's where you want to pitch your vision at. 10 years from now, so that it's long enough for you to zoom out on your life and to make bigger strategic decisions. 10 years allows you to make sure that your ladder is actually leaning against the right wall. Who you are becoming has got nothing to do with a 2-year time frame or a 3-year time frame, because it's going to take time and effort and consistency and action. And you always want to be looking at a long time horizon when it comes down to who you are. The second one is define reality. Where are you today? What are your circumstances that you find yourself in right now? It's great that you know where you want to go. That's exciting. That's the exciting part. The discouraging part is looking at where you are right now. And so whenever you do that, a gap gets created between where you want to be and where you are right now. And that can cause discouragement, it can cause disappointment, it can cause you to want to overthink or give up. But you need to define reality so that you can now create that gap, which will give you the opportunity to close the gap, to think strategically. What are the steps you need to take? You've got to define it. If you want to earn $1 million and you're earning $10,000 right now, well, there's a huge gap that gets created there. Now you have to think about what are the strategic decisions you have to make in order to close the gap. Number 3 is to close the gap. Take time to think about what steps you need to take in order to close the gap. Write them down. Think about them. It can be general at first, and then it can get more specific over time. What you're actually trying to write a list on is what are the habits, what are the goals, and what are the systems that you need to put into place into your life that's going to help you to get to achieve the vision of your life. What are those things that if you did consistently would almost automatically get you to your outcome. For me, my goal was to get to 75 kilograms in weight at 10% body fat. When I started the journey almost a year ago, I was weighing 78 kilograms and my body fat percentage was over 20%. So, what I needed to put in place was I needed a meal plan. I needed to exercise according to a specific routine. And then I needed to weigh myself regularly and go for checkups with a dietitian. Those were all things that were holding me accountable to making progress. That if I did those things on a regular basis, extreme consistency, because I had real clarity around my goals, then I was going to make progress. And so I've hit my body fat percentage, massive, massive win. I've got to really gain weight. And so I have to eat like crazy, basically. And that's going to be a challenge. I've been trying to pick up weight for so long now, and it's just going slowly, but we'll get there. Before ending this step, you want to make sure that you get an idea of, okay, what do I need to do over the next year? What actions do I need to take over the next quarter? What over the next month, what are some of those things that I need to do? And over this next week, and even today, what do I need to do to take those small steps towards getting to that vision in my life? And don't be like I used to be, writing these things down and then never looking at them. You want to look at it regularly, at least weekly. Daily is preferable. If you keep it in front of you, you'll keep walking towards it. The last one is take action. And this is basically where the rubber hits the road. Intentions become reality. The value of your plan comes from taking action and implementing it into your life. This means you schedule your plans, they make their way into your calendar and into your budget. I know that this doesn't sound exciting, but this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where your life moves forward. This is the difference between a dream and a vision. Having this day-to-day plan or a weekly plan actually structures your life to make sure that systems and intentions and goals and habits are finding their place in your life. Not based on how you feel, but based on the decision that you've made to live according to your vision so that you can go through the day-to-day grind of executing on these things, all the while becoming the person who fulfills the vision that you have for your life. And the plan is not a static plan. You can go ahead and you can make adjustments as you need to make adjustments. Maybe some things in your life need a bit of reshuffling. Maybe a new baby has come or whatever the case may be. So you need to adjust, but try not to adjust the vision. Maybe you just need to adjust the strategy. Maybe you need to adjust the habits and the systems that you've implemented in order to go there. And don't think it has to be done like now. That's why we're taking a longer time horizon so it becomes part of who we are. A final thought I'd like to leave with you is that accountability is going to help you. If you can structure in accountability into your vision, you're actually going to be able to make better progress. For me, going to see the dietitian and getting weighed and getting my body composition put up on a screen for her and me and my wife to see, that keeps me in a certain amount of discipline and it helps me. I get motivated by that because I also see results. And so for you, a written down plan is a step of accountability. Putting that into your calendar and into your budget is another step of accountability. But you can go even further. You can get a friend who can maybe on a monthly basis chat to you about how things are going, or a family member, or maybe get into a community of people who are also trying to live out that vision. Maybe it's, signing up for a mentor. And hey, shameless plug, I would love to be that mentor if you can gel with the way I do things. Link in the description for more info. The plan will give you something to be accountable for, but having people in your life will give you someone to answer to. Get intentional about your life. Get excited about the life that you're living. Don't get distracted. Design it. Go for the extraordinary. I mean, what other life are you waiting for? Create a compelling vision for your life so that you can have clear direction and a framework for making decisions. It's true, it's going to cost you something, but it's going to be worth it. I highly recommend that you watch this next video that YouTube is recommending that you watch. It knows you better than I know you, and this is going to help you. And again, if you would like some help to design a vision for your life and design a plan for your life, one that will help you to live a meaningful life, have extreme clarity and margin and focus to live for what matters most, I can help you with that. Check the link in the description for my Thrive by Design online course or mentorship. Take care.